Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's been a while, so let's catch up. So I think the first thing that you guys will probably notice is our channel name isn't ITC Studios anymore. Basically, for a while, we weren't 100% sold on the name ITC Studios. It used to stand for In True Color Studios, but now we're IntaConnect Studios. As IntaConnect Studios, we want to connect people through games, people's stories, people's backgrounds. That's something that we'd really like to reflect in our game. When I first started this YouTube channel, I don't think I ever spoke about who IntaConnect Studios are as a team. So IntaConnect Studios is me, Wumi. I'm the programmer and the pixel artist, and my boyfriend Projay, who's a music producer and concept artist. While we have our separate roles, we literally collaborate and brainstorm together about everything that A-NOMA-LY is and the studio. I've been programming since I was in secondary school, so about 14 years old, and then I studied computer games programming at uni, which I graduated from in 2022. I started learning pixel art in 2020 on my placement year at university, where this whole idea of running my own studio came from. Projay has been drawing since he was really young, so he has a lot of art experience where I don't. So in terms of beginning my pixel art journey, he was teaching me literally about anatomy, shading, color theory, which I still gotta work on, animation, everything, all the fundamentals of art he was teaching me, as well as doing art. Again, he's a music producer. Projay's been doing music for years now as well. He's already created some really cool OSTs for our game projects already. I'll put our social media handles here, and I'll also link them down below for you guys to check out. Let's talk about the projects that we've worked on. A-NOMA-LY, which is our current game project and the first project that we're gonna publish. We've been working on that since 2020. So A-NOMA-LY is our first game project that we've worked on together, but we have also worked on some other projects. Our first side project was this game called Legends of Redemption, a dungeon platformer, and we did the art for it, but it was very early in our game dev careers. It didn't really go further than that, but it's definitely something that we'd like to revisit. Then we entered our first game jam last year, and we made a game called Mirrored. The theme was you are the monster, so basically you play as a character, an assassin, and long story short, the monster's really inside you. Yeah, well, original. It was cool though. It was a really fun experience. Obviously, we're making A-NOMA-LY together, but we never made and finished the game together. And it was also the first time that Projay delved into pixel art. He designed the player animations, the enemy animations, which was really cool because he had a lot of experience as an artist, but he never done pixel art before. So that gave him an insight into the workflow of doing pixel art. And then I did the coding. I worked on doing tile sets, I did the environment, and all the other boring code stuff. And of course, Projay did the music for that game too. There's a scuffed version on itch if you guys want to play. Be prepared to encounter a lot of bugs. The boss battles, hey, I mean, you'll see. It's very they're very exploitable. Post jam, we continue to work on it just to fix major bugs, and I do want to post an updated version of it on itch, but right now we're focusing on the main project, which of course, like I mentioned, is called A-NOMA-LY. So like I said before, we've been working on A-NOMA-LY since 2020. Over the course of 4 years, our game has transformed. Development was very on and off because I was still in uni. Like for my final year, I barely touched A-NOMA-LY because obviously I had so much other stuff going on with dissertations, assignments, all that stuff. But now that I've graduated, to live in this life, I have to work. While I don't have the obligation of doing assignments anymore, I don't have 100% of my time to give towards A-NOMA-LY. But hey, it's summer, so now I do. So A-NOMA-LY is our first big project that we'll be releasing on Steam. A-NOMA-LY has gone through major transformations and changes, and that's just purely because while I was developing A-NOMA-LY, I was also learning a lot of new skills as well. Doing the pixel art for A-NOMA-LY was the first time that I've done art digitally. Before that, I mean, I did art in school and stuff, but like, it wasn't like I was taking it seriously. It was more of just something that was fun. It was a hobby. Barely. I didn't. Hey, once I found out about coding, that's all I was doing. That's not even true. Because even back then, I don't really like coding that much. Because I wasn't even coding stuff that I really wanted to code until uni. So Anyway, like I said, I've been learning while I've been developing A-NOMA-LY. Even in terms of my programming skills, I wasn't so confident in my ability until I graduated from uni. Then I really knew what I was capable of. But in those first early years of development, I couldn't even stream my coding on Twitch because I was just really nervous about people coming into the chat and being like, oh, you're doing this wrong. So I think it was a good thing that I gave myself that time to kind of just learn, you know, because I'm sure a lot of game devs can relate to the fact that when you first start coding, a lot of it is just replicating what a tutorial might have shown you, you know? You might not 100% understand it, you're able to replicate it, but you're not able to use that code from the tutorial and then implement it into your own scenario. But now I'm definitely able to do that. And the whole idea of making this YouTube channel, I wanted to be really transparent of my process of learning pixel art and coding, but I built YouTube up in my head to be this really difficult thing, from the editing, from having the confidence to record, from having content to show. I was just so nervous about it that I ended up procrastinating over and over. And then boom, I didn't upload for years. But here we are now. I still want to make sure to show the transparency of our game dev journey because I'm still learning. I really want to have a record of our progress. And I think sometimes in game dev, it's nice to look back and see how much progress you've really made. When we first started working on the player character, he was huge. Like, no exaggeration, like he was. And it was definitely over ambitious because it wasn't like I was making a story-based game where the characters are gonna be static. No, it's a 2D action RPG. I was gonna have to animate these huge sprites, and I was just like, yeah, I can do it. The player character has been through so many changes in terms of size, style, design. I could finally say, don't tell me I'm spinning the back this whole time. Since we're on the topic of changing art style, I'll hand over to ProJ to discuss his thoughts and feelings about how our art styles changed.
Hello guys, it's me, ProJ. I do want to give you guys an insight to the original concepts that I had before, where my mind was at and where my mind is today, and sort of also give the kind of perspective I've been given ones about the art going forward and just my perspective in an artist's view, I guess. So yeah, let's just get into it. So we will start with the old concept. So the old concept, as you can see, originally IntaConnect Studios was not actually planned. He had originally written A-NOMA-LY as a novel that was on Wattpad, and I had done some placeholder sketches and stuff like that just to kind of give a more visual side of things. It was almost like spontaneous when she came to me and said, oh, she wanted to make it a game, where she had no art knowledge. I had to really like run her down the basics. So in this old concept, my main thing was, you know what, let's just really give her the basics of character profiling. The red sketch, it was just kind of my first kind of idea, just to kind of give me a reference point as to where I want to go. I wanted to keep it simple in terms of colors, in terms of the form, hence why I did the turnaround, so just so she would understand what to focus on when creating a character. It really did suit to the vision we had at the time. What she progressed it to be in the pixel style came out amazing towards the end, but definitely when she did come to me about the original change, I was stumped because, you know, the main thing was sizing down, so we sort of had to have a meeting and have a consultation as to the things that she probably needs to consider in artistic views. Number one, reference board. We are almost revamping the whole game, we're rebooting the whole game. Just because we're sizing down doesn't mean that quality will be lost. It's just more about now perfecting the style within that size. In terms of characters, I did have the experience of kind of working with smaller sprites when we worked on Myrick. I think because of my artistic knowledge, I kind of knew in terms of, you know what, as long as I have the form, it's a start. It is crazy that Fortnite was the inspiration. You know, with the clicks on your mouse, we got, I believe that was Drift and this Trace. But I just remember that when I was playing, they caught my attention already. I am a gamer, but you know what I mean, I'm an artist first, so you know, a lot of the design stood out. And what I liked about Drift was that even though he did look kind of mysterious and almost like villainy, but he looked really cool. His stance, I felt like, you know, they just have a very protagonist look. Their looks look like they have a story. They look like they're from a sort of universe. That's just all just from character design, especially with Noma being the driver of the story. I did kind of make that point to the CEO to be like, you know what, even though we are sizing down, it's all more the reason that we need to make sure that his design doesn't experience loss. Even though their designs are complex, they're also many things that you can see that are very intentional with the character design. I wanted to make sure it just fit and it matched our vision. As someone who also does my own manga, when it does come to character design, I always have to think of my world first and to make sure certain things make sense, even if it's just a simple clothing. I'm saying a simple line, a simple color, a simple item, an accessory could be the make or break for your character design. So I need to let her know that, especially because we're sizing down, quality mattered more. It's all about the style. That was my main concern, but you know, made her have a mood board. I had some inspiration. We worked from there and we started sketching. So as you can see, I just had the normal base. They were all very random because I was looking at different things from my references, like, you know, taking Trace's designs from his zips to the jacket, or Drift that he has the big sleeve arms, the big pockets like I have on the third design, and even with the armband and the hoods on Drift, for example. That's why in the first two designs they're very tight, and because Noma had a mask, I thought, you know what, his mask would look cool if it was kind of similar to that, you know, just to kind of make sure that the hoodie isn't overpowering, you know, and he doesn't look like, you know, those like medieval road people. So speaking with the CEO, there was a lot of stuff that she liked about all of them, so I did come up with the suggestion of, let's break this thing down and tell me what in all of these three designs do you like, and then we can kind of make a final one and really nail it down. I made some notes. So like in the first one, she really liked the coat design. Sort of Power Rangers have the sort of latex sort of look that, you know, it's kind of like a suit, you know. On the shoulder, I had an idea of the anime vibe with the scarf flying off, and when we do his run animation, it'll be flapping behind him, you know what I mean, all up past 1,000. So I'm sorry I kind of weaved out there, but you know, I mean, anime is natural inspiration. With the second design, I kind of gave the idea of Excel's energy slash Noma's energy being kind of like pulsating through the suit. And then the third one, she really liked the hood, the torso sort of thing. Just talking with her, it did give me enough clarity, and I kind of knew what to work with. We end up coming with the final thing. I absolutely love how it comes out. I definitely feel like it gives the vibe I'm playing a action and adventure RPG. Because we made Noma older, wanted to give him more the mature look. So the way I sort of saw it was kind of growing him up, you know what I mean? Noma's still swaggy. I think this was a great concept. Just in summary, this design was kickoff to the new reboot of the A-NOMA-LY game. I think that was mainly me done. I've said what I need to say. As an actual conclusion, Wings is the brains behind this. I'd never really doubted her vision as to what she had planned and what she wanted done for the games. Even though she didn't know how things was going to go, she still trusted in herself and trusted in me as a concept artist. We bounce off each other, we inspire each other, and we grow, because that's what it's all about. We will have a lot more to show you. We will have a lot more videos similar to this where you will get kind of both perspectives. And thank you for listening to me.
When we came back on Twitch last month and we announced this major change, we had a few questions. So the first thing that was asked was, are we changing everything? We don't plan to change everything. Some other assets we could still reuse. For example, our larger sprites, because we designed a lot of characters in that large resolution. I'm planning to still use those for dialogue portraits. Some stuff like the environment, the buildings, for example, definitely have to be redrawn. My main issue initially when I was drawing these buildings, these objects and stuff, I wasn't using the player character as a reference, which meant I had to redraw stuff. So this isn't even my first phase of redrawing, it's like my third. In terms of other stuff that I have to redraw, I think it's something that I'd figure out along the way. Is using smaller sprites easier or harder? In terms of getting used to it initially, it was harder because my initial sprites had a lot of detail and I always wanted my sprites to be super detailed. Now that I'm downsizing, I've had to really hold back on the amount of detail, but I plan to make up for it in our dialogue portrait. Overall, making this decision, it was a tough one to make. I have to redraw a lot of stuff now, but workflow will be a lot more efficient, animations will be easier, productivity is gonna go up once I figure out like how I want to be drawing these characters, these environments, you know? So we're currently working on the alpha. That's what we've been doing for the past few years. We're working on the alpha and it features a small section of gameplay, which is going to be a stealth mission. So we're going to be working on that really hard before we delve into making the full game. We don't have a date yet of when we want to release the alpha. We are planning to release it on Steam. So once our game is wishlistable, we'll obviously let you guys know. But we are working hard to get a trailer up and running really soon. So trust me, you guys will be the first to know when the trailer's out because I'm going to be uploading on here. So that's all for our first YouTube video back. Our next video will be more focused around A-NOMA-LY itself and what you can look forward to seeing in the alpha. For now though, in between YouTube videos, you guys can catch us on Twitch I stream 3 days a week. So if you guys would like to see live game development progress, then you can check us out there. We also have a Twitter, Instagram, if you like shorter and quicker content. If you'd like to join us on our game development journey as we work on A-NOMA-LY, make sure you subscribe and you'll get a notification when we post our Where Are We Now? Before versus after video. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a real one. I appreciate you. And we will see you in the next video. Bye. That serves me right.